This is our project on reproduction. This website is all about reproduction, how it works. The purpose of this website is to find out if we can hatch a chicken egg outside of the shell. The purpose of a cell. The purpose of a cell is to carry out various jobs so that your body can function. Parts of the cell include cytoplasm, the mitochondria, chloroplast, which is only in plant cells, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, vesicles, the Golgi body, vacuoles, the nucleus, the nucleolus, and nuclear pores. Plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells and animal cells are very similar in the way that they are both eukaryotic cells and both cells have membrane-bound organelles. There are a few differences though. Plant cells have cell walls and chloroplast and have a much larger vacuole. DNA. DNA is the blueprint of your body. It is what makes you you. It's the information of your body in its cells. DNA stands for d-ribonucleic acid. DNA is a double helix or a spiral ladder with nitrogen bases such as adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. I've completely butchered those, but they make up the rungs of the ladder. Mitosis is the division of a nucleus to create more cells. The purpose of mitosis is to grow and replace worn-out cells. Mitosis consists of 5 phases: interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Meiosis is a lot like mitosis in how it reproduces cells, but meiosis is used in sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. The phases of meiosis are split into 2 parts. The first phase includes interphase, prophase, metaphase, metaphase 2, anaphase, meiosis, telophase. Meiosis 2 consists of telophase, prophase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. There are 2 main types of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Plants and bacteria use asexual reproductions, while animals use sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. Only one parent is required and needed in asexual reproduction. You can produce a clone of the parent when using asexual reproduction. You can reproduce approximately twice as many offspring as sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, you need 2 parents to create an offspring. In sexual reproduction, the offspring takes traits from both parents, which makes it easier to live in a changing environment. Sexual reproduction is more common than asexual reproduction because it lends itself to a faster evolution. Reproduction. Different types of organisms reproduce in different types of ways. Animals reproduce differently from plants. In this section, we will be covering how they reproduce differently. Animal reproduction. Animals reproduce through sexual reproduction. Animals like the chicken fertilize the egg that is in a female with sperm that is injected into the female from a male. It then goes through a process which consists of internal fertilization and then external fertilization. Other reproductions. Plant reproduction and prokaryotic reproduction are the same, in which they use asexual reproduction to reproduce. The chicken experiment. As a class, we watched a video about Japanese students who hatched the egg outside of its shell. We then proceeded to redo the experiment in our own classroom. The following steps show how we did it and what our results were. The first step was building the incubator. For the incubator, we got a big Tupperware bin, you could say, and covered it with a styrofoam box. We had an open flap in the front so we could shine a light into it there. The inside of the styrofoam had a reflective surface that we could shine lights and it would reflect the heat back into the Tupperware bin. We disinfected the incubator and then cut a hole at the top. We had a small makeshift incubator that we placed the eggs in before we started actual incubation. So we placed that on top to help regulate the temperature. We then started to shine the heat lamps into the incubator. Once it was up to standards of heat, we started pre-incubation. The second step of the process was the pre-incubation. In the pre-incubation, we weighted and numbered the eggs. We then set up our shellless culture. We got a, a cup and poked a few holes in it with a heated screwdriver. We then made a solution to pour at the bottom of the cup. We then got cling foil with an indented print into it and placed it on top of the cup. We used elastic bands to hold it to the cup and placed our egg inside. We then covered it with another layer of cling foil. The video here shows our process if you did not understand from my description, which you probably didn't. The third step of the process was the actual incubation. We started incubation on November 28th with about 8 eggs inside the incubator. A few days later that we realized that a few of the eggs weren't developing, so we realized that they were dead. We moved the remaining eggs to a smaller incubator. We waited a couple days to see how far they had incubated, or how far they have developed. On December 5th, we took one last look at the egg. We saw that the heart stopped beating and that it wasn't developing anymore, so we decided that the chicken was dead. That's when we decided to end our project. Conclusion: it is possible to hatch an egg outside the chicken, or outside the shell, but in our experiment we were not successful. Even though we were not successful does not mean it is impossible. We will check over our mistakes and see if we can recreate the experiment one more time. If you want any more knowledge on this topic, these are our references and these are the websites that we use to help for our project. Also, make sure to check out the videos in our website if you want to learn more about this experiment.